Growing up as an Indian American is not easy. My story starts in the second grade. When I was 7, my family moved from Chicago to Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Whether it was due to a lack of diversity or just bad luck, Highlands Ranch was the first place that I faced cultural ignorance. At the tender age of 8, I was questioned. Why don't you go to church? What is that dot you wear on your head? Whether I knew it or not, this was the first time that I faced the double agent phenomenon. This is a term that I've coined to express how Indian Americans and first generation Americans feel in general as they grow up. We feel as though we have two identities, one at home and one in the public. For me, at home, I loved watching Bollywood films with my parents and eating Indian food such as pani puri. But at school, all I cared about was my athletic achievements and the last hip-hop album that dropped. And while this may be sustainable for a short period of time, what this leads to is a lack of identity and a need to seek acceptance. I wanted acceptance from both the Indian community and the American community at school, but I could never be a part of both. To Indians, I wasn't Hindu enough because I wasn't vegetarian. And to Americans, I just felt like I wasn't accepted because of the way I looked. This is something I think Indian Americans and Desi-Americans across the entire country deal with when they grow up. And unfortunately, we don't share our story. However, it comes to a point where you have to make a decision. Do you want to be more American or do you want to be more Indian? And I definitely chose the American side. It got to a point where I was literally proud of being called the cool Indian or the chill Indian. And looking back on it, it's insane that I took that as a compliment. During middle school and high school, this behavior was okay because quite frankly, everybody in high school is looking for acceptance. But as other people around me matured and grew, I felt left behind because I didn't know who I was. I literally remember sitting in bed one day going through a mental checklist. So I don't look American, but I love playing American sports. I like Indian food, but American music is my favorite. It was this constant battle that I faced growing up. And this is something that did not subside even when I went to college. So now you might be thinking, how could you have avoided this? Isn't this the price that you pay as a minority in America? And the answer to that is no. You see, I had this mental dilemma going on my entire life, but I never consulted the people around me and shared my story. And this is something that I feel a lot of other Indian kids do. Over the past couple months, we've been trapped in our houses. And because of that, we've been around our parents a little bit more than we might want. But one of the advantages of this is I've been forced to have conversation with my parents. And not just normal conversation, but genuine conversation about things that happened in my past and things that I've been neglecting for such a long time. Similarly, over the last 6 months, I've had these conversations with some of my friends, and it was only until I did this that I felt closure and a sense of clarity. So I think as kids, we grow up and we have these mental dilemmas and just assume the people around us won't understand. And until we give them an opportunity and actually talk to them, how do we know if they would actually be on our side? If you relate or resonate with any part of this story, I urge you to talk to the people around you and have genuine conversation. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate if you could share this with friends and family because I think this is something that more Desi kids, Indian kids, and really first generation Americans need to see and realize and understand. And with that, peace.